maybe you didn't make the goal as realistic as you could for yourself at this time, maybe you just have to adjust it a little bit so that the following month or the following week or the following goal, it can be a little bit more focused and a little bit more specific, and you can take baby steps towards accomplishing that. So, with the start of a new year, I thought it'd be advantageous to make a couple of New Year's resolutions, some 30-day challenges, some 60-day challenges, some 90-day challenges. If you didn't see my last video, I talked about all of those. But today I am going to focus on my 365-day challenge, which was the Better Than Yesterday game. Now, yesterday was meditate for 20 minutes. I ended up using my Muse app and my Muse headband, which checks for mental state, stillness, heartbeat, to see where I was at in terms of meditation, and I was about 50% there. Today, my Better Than Yesterday card was to think about something that makes you anxious, to try and get to the bottom of it. It's pretty heavy one for the second day, but also probably really good because it really made me want to delve a little bit deeper into how I feel and the things that I'd like to feel better about. When thinking about what makes me anxious, I had to start with what I do for work. I am an educator in the private sector, and so I work with clients of all ages. And lately, especially after I restarted in a different town, in a different city, I started to change how I taught and what I was teaching. So I started teaching group classes. And honestly, I did that because of legal reasons and because it was the easiest way to get into space. I don't have a building that I rent. I actually do profit sharing with nonprofit organizations so that I can offer a lower price. And I thought that with group classes, it was the way to enter into that market. Now, I started off with summer camps for younger students, teenagers, and children. And we also did spring break camps, and I actually really enjoyed those. I also teach really young students, 2 to 5 years old, and I also really enjoyed those group classes. But what I've been finding is that what I used to do in my old city of Vancouver, where I taught privately, the group classes don't have the same feeling towards them. I think that with my private students, I had more connection, more one-on-one, and I could see the development and progress more readily. And also, I would spend years with my clients building up their self-esteem, building up their confidence levels, and creating and watching them grow as they created new things. But with group classes, it has kind of become a toll on me mentally. I was looking at my anxiety about teaching these classes and how much I still enjoy my private students. And I think that ultimately what I was doing was I was trying to appease other people and trying to make their opinions of me a more positive experience before putting my own happiness first. And it's kind of created a lot of friction in my life because I don't always enjoy what I'm doing. And I'd rather enjoy it than not. So I think this roots down to further about what am I going to do in the future. I haven't set myself goals in a very long time, personality wise, my personal life, my mental health wise, my physical health, and even my work life. This is my own business. I don't work for anybody else, and I just am kind of coasting along with it. And so I need to make a change. Uh, and I think that's the part of the anxiety that is the hardest, is feeling like you're letting people down, but realizing that it's for your own betterness and your own good, so that you can help other people more. Um, I don't think that this last couple of months I've really actually been helping my students. I feel like I have been just there, and I might have actually been hindering their progress, especially in the group setting. What I am going to do moving forward is set myself some SMART goals for my own mental well being and for my business. Um, Starting this week, I am going to be offering exclusively private classes, which I know I enjoy, and I will be sending out emails to promote it. And I'd like to get at least 3 to 10 new clients between January and March, and then more onward. And I'm going to be more active in sharing my experiences and maybe educating online more. I think those are things that I really enjoy doing, and I want to continue to grow that. And, I came from a very large city where I was working with some people who were very passionate about what they were doing. They were taking my courses to be better and to go into a career based on what I was doing. And in the city that I'm currently in, it's a much smaller city, like 10 times smaller. So there's less clientele, and there's less of my clients wanting to do what I'm teaching them as a career. They're just doing it for a hobby or for fun. That's what I kind of want to focus on in my work balance. In my mental health balance, I think this will help me feel more fulfilled in what I am doing. And I think that also sharing my experience online will be really impactful for me, because the more people that I can share it with and the more people that I can help, the better I'll feel. As for my physical health, I've already set my 30, 60, 90-day goals. So if you want to take a look at those for my last video, you can do that, and you can find out what I'm doing for myself. And I also think for my personality and my personal well-being, that these goals are attainable, and I think that they'll make me a better person over the course of the next 1 to 3 months. And then I can reevaluate where I'm at and adjust as needed. I think it's really important to make goals, and to make SMART goals that you can measure and that are realistic, and that are specific as well, because when you don't, you just kind of coast and you don't have an end line. I feel like last year I didn't have a finish line. I just sometimes was even walking backwards. If you think about a marathon in a city and there's a specific path, I started the marathon and I just walked in the opposite direction, hoping that I'd get to the finish line. And that's not something that's achievable. And that's not something that will help you change or grow. And if there's one thing that I can share with anybody who's watching, is set up your goals. Make sure that you look at where you want to be. Because if you just coast, or if you don't make a goal that is structured, you're not going to accomplish anything. Or maybe you will out of luck, but luck is a very fickle beast. I think sometimes you might feel like you fail your goal, especially if you have it structured and you don't accomplish it in a specific time. You might think that's a failure, but really it's just not quite there. And it's okay to have days where you're not quite there, or days when you miss your goal, as long as you forgive yourself and move forward from that. I know for myself, last year, there'd be days where I'd be like, all right, I'm going to work out. And I worked out for 7 days. And then the 8th day I didn't. And I kind of went, well, I screwed up and I'm a failure. And that's not the case. Nobody is ever a failure. You're just not succeeding at what you're trying yet. It's that you had a bad day. It's not that you failed the experiment. And granted, I tried a 30-day experiment on my birthday. I told myself I wasn't going to drink, and I told myself that I wasn't going to spend money. And then within the first 2 days, I bought a TV. So, and then from there, I just kept on going downhill. I even told myself, oh, well, it'll be different. But I didn't actually purposefully make action towards my goals. But this time, I am going to. And I'm trying to do so effectively. And again, I know that there'll be times when I will mess up. In fact, I'm going on a vacation in 2 days to go visit some friends because it's one of their birthdays, and the other one I just really want to see. And so I know that one of my goals was for 30 days I wasn't going to spend money that wasn't essential. I think that this trip that I'm going to be doing with my friends is essential, but it still means that I'm going to be spending money, and it still means that I might not make some of the other goals that I accomplished. And that's okay. I am willing to let those 4 days go so that I can get back to my regular routine and my regular life and accomplish the 30 days, the 60 days, the 90 days, and the 365-day goals that I've created for myself. So with that said, if you take anything away from this video, it is make smart goals and make them so that they're achievable for you. And forgive yourself if you screw up. Don't restart, don't reset, but just take that one day and go, you know what? That was 1 day out of 30. And you know what? Even if it's 5 days out of 30, as long as you recognize that and you return back to that regularity of that goal keeping, I think that's all you need. And if maybe you didn't make the goal as realistic as you could for yourself at this time, maybe you just have to adjust it a little bit so that the following month or the following week or the following goal, it can be a little bit more focused and a little bit more specific, and you can take baby steps towards accomplishing that. So with that said, my name is Sid. I am trying to do this for 365 days. Anxiety was today, and we'll find out what tomorrow is. If you like content like this, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.